A drag race into turn one. Oh, Kyle Busch slides and does the 78. They both go up into the wall through turn one. Caution comes out.
Lock her down.
When battling for one of the biggest races of the year, the Brickyard 400, Kyle Busch and Martin Truex wrecked each other on the restart after agreeing in the previous restart that they were not going to work together. Truex got loose as Kyle Busch sucked on his door. They both went into the wall, ending their days abruptly. This was the biggest moment of the race because these two drivers had the fastest car all day long. This definitely changed the complexity of the race as these two drivers were the best cars all day long. But their incompetence showed on this restart and neither one of them would pick up the checkered flag and be able to kiss the bricks at the finish.
That puts McDowell and Bain.
Oh, Michael spun on the back.
And
Michael crashed down the back. Oh my gosh, what happened?
The caution is out.
He's taking their pack just out the pit road.
When he came up on the racetrack, the thing just jumped around with him.
When trying to qualify his way into the Daytona 500, the two-time Daytona 500 champion, Michael Waltrip, who is a very highly experienced NASCAR driver, made one of the stupidest mistakes I've ever seen. Waltrip on the apron of the track would try to merge back up on the track way too soon as he ran up on the banking, spinning his car out and going head-on to the outside wall, ultimately ending his shot and making the Daytona 500. Everybody always says that Denny Hamlin choked away the 2010 championship. I will die on the hill that the only reason he ended up losing that championship was because the situation his team put him in at Phoenix before Homestead. Denny Hamlin was one of the only chase contenders that ended up pitting with just a handful of laps to go while he was running second, and he ultimately would come home in 12th. Just extremely disappointing and frustrating for Hamlin and his race fans.
Hamlin has come on the radio the last 3 or 4 laps and asked Mike Ford if we're going to have to pit, what about short pitting? What about coming in early, go ahead and get the fuel and get back out and try to dig it, get as much as we can on the racetrack? Mike basically has said, let's stay out until we have to come. Andy, what would you have said to your driver?
Well, he's sitting in the driver's seat right now, Doc. By being the point leader, you really kind of want to play defense on that. If he pits right now, which would be good if everybody makes a pit stop and it goes green, it could really hurt him if the caution comes out. And I just wouldn't want to put myself, I think there's just too much to lose by doing that.
That was when he was in the lead, holding everybody off. He'll have enough fuel. Let's go to Doc. Denny's on pit road.
Coming in 2 laps before he had to. It'll be right side tires and fuel for Denny Hamlin. The money stop, maybe the championship stop for this crew. Counting the fuel in now. Right side tires going on. Can of fuel in. Hamlin down and away. Just a little over 7.5 seconds.
Look at the point swing with Denny now dropping back to 19th as a result of the pit stop. That's how quickly this could change.
Well, Jimmy Johnson, we don't think can make it either.
Denny, frustrated. He drove the wheels off all day, led 190 laps, and because he needed that last stop, finishes in 12th.
Denny, I know. I just can't imagine the emotions you're feeling right now. What are the thoughts?
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. We were in a good position there to look pretty good at going into next week, and now we got just.
Even with the summer coming to a close, it is still very hot outside. And if you want to get some cool shirts, get them from Coofandy. Coofandy has sponsored NASCAR driver Christopher Bell this season, and they have made some amazing apparel with his brand at Joe Gibbs Racing. But that's not the only thing amazing. If you want to talk about cool and comfort, they have so many options to choose from on their website. Just like this dress pants and shirt to go with it. They also have these stylish shorts that can go with anything you're wanting to wear. But if you're wanting to get casual or dress nice, these polos go great with this stylish shorts. So if you're ready to beat the heat and wear some heat clothes, go to Coofandy.com and get yours today.
Danica Patrick, Landon Castle tangled up. Castle going for a slide.
Yeah, we did not hit anything. Did not hit anything.
It looked like Danica had a chance of not hitting anything, but just back up on the track.
8th caution is out.
Bringing the pit road here has got some pretty heavy left front damage.
Racing for 25th and 26th positions on the lead lap. And I saw that. It kind of looked like.
But gets clear there. And she gets in on the bumper, but just doesn't get off of him. Right there where you're talking, and you just turn it left and lock it down.
And she had a chance to not go up hit that wall if she just stayed on the brakes and kept it down there. In fact, she's trying to save it, just kept driving it until it hooked to the right.
Yeah, at that point right there is whenever you should just, as a driver, realize that this is a spin, lock it down, and you can come get 4 tires. And that's the kind of things that she'll have to learn with these cars.
We can all definitely agree that Danica Patrick made some stupid and idiotic mistakes in her NASCAR career. But even before she went full-time racing, she tried to intentionally give payback to Landon Cassill and ended up wrecking herself. This was one of Patrick's most embarrassing moments as a NASCAR driver. Unfortunately for Patrick, she still never lived this down, as this quote that Landon Cassill said still lives on to today. Rule number 1 of stock car racing: learn how to wreck somebody else without wrecking yourself. And Danica Patrick definitely had to learn this, and she learned it very quickly in her NASCAR career. NASCAR drivers make mistakes all the time, but this is probably one of the most unfortunate mistakes Kevin Harvick made in his entire career, when he was so scared Chase Elliott was going to wreck him entering turn 1 at the Roval that he overshot turn 1 by himself, crashing into the wall and immediately ending his playoff hopes and winning a second championship. Harvick was having a resurgence in the 2021 season towards the end of the year, but this was the downfall of his career basically, as Harvick never really was the same after this. Harvick unfortunately would miss the round of 8 after this accident. Talk about incompetence. Denny Hamlin was fixing to pick up his first ever championship in the NASCAR Cup Series. It was basically a lock for Hamlin just to run good all day. That's what Denny Hamlin didn't do. He ended up wrecking himself on the backstretch with Greg Biffle in the final race of the season at Homestead and Miami Speedway. Hamlin would come up off the bottom of the track and door Biffle down the backstretch, sending his car spinning into the grass and ultimately ending his shot at a championship, as he would lose points to Jimmy Johnson, who would eventually pick up his 5th consecutive championship.
Scored in 38th after this that brought out our most recent caution.
Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow when you're taken out by a guy that's 15 laps down. I don't know exactly what happened there, but if you take a ride on the 22 here, just watch. He gets pounded in the left rear.
Is Logano faster in the bottom than Chase is up top?
Oh, yes he is. He's going to get that lead.
But can he keep it? 3 to go.
Wow, what a battle here. They touch.
Little bump and run there from Chase Elliott.
Close.
They're up and in the wall. Here comes Keselowski.
Wow.
And Kyle Busch.
This one is a very hard one to put on this list of incompetence, because I think this was an honest mistake, but still, when you're racing for the lead and you're racing against Joey Logano, you need to know who you're racing and to not wreck yourself. And this is what Chase Elliott did. He overdrove turn 3 at Bristol in 2020, slid Logano up in the wall, as with himself, costing both of them a shot to win and ending their day immediately. Chase Elliott still did not win the race, unfortunately, after having one of the dominant cars of the day.
You see the trouble right in front of Chase Elliott. 2 cars wrecking around. 17 Tanner Berryhill and 93 Kevin Swindell.
I don't know if the 9 got any front end damage. It looked like he might have got into the back. One of these cars here.
Well, that's
pretty obvious what happened there, but that's, you can see the damage that the 9 got quite a bit. He hit the wall with the right side and then pretty hard in the back of the 93. For the leader and everybody else that passed him.
And you know these cars right.
Oh, he got touched.
Got turned
the race
around.
leader. Caution. Can they all avoid him? No.
I think Jeff Gordon got into the back of Bobby Labonte as he slowed.
Yep.
All right, roll.
Clint was doing all he could, to try to race his way around these lap cars. You see the 93. It's a run.
See, that's Kyle Busch right in front of Clint. Wow.
Pounded him.
Yeah.
Travis Kvapil in that 93 car again had just been lapped by the leader Clint Boyer.
And here comes Bobby Labonte.
In fact, there's hard to tell if there was any contact from behind on Denny's part.
So that's at the pit entrance.
The 2014 race at Watkins Glen was definitely chaotic. There was even a crash after the race, just like this one with the 33 car. But Denny Hamlin made extremely hard contact with the inside barriers right at the entrance of pit road, and sand went everywhere. Denny Hamlin ended up finishing this race wrecked with sand all over the place, and this was probably one of Denny Hamlin's worst racetracks ever. He's not really great at Watkins Glen, and to end it like this was probably extremely frustrating for Hamlin.
You know what I like most about that 10-lap segment, Daryl? Carl had it loaded up.
Here he comes.
Oh my gosh!
Oh boy!
He just tore his car all to pieces. He hit this manhole down there. He tore it up.
Sorry about that.
He tore the whole front off of it. He was going to do a Matt Kenseth. He didn't know there was a manhole down there.
You can get behind that show car over there on pit road.
I don't think
that's going to happen.
He's going to get behind a record. What he's going to get behind.
That is awesome.
Gosh.
He didn't make one mistake all night long till then.
He just didn't. There's a man cover down there. I think there's a cover down there that he hit.
In your words, dadgum cars tore all to pieces.
Dadgum cars tore all to pieces, Mike.
Here we go, $1 million backflip.
But at least he made it down here. He's got to be sick about his car, though, because I bet they were going to use that thing next week.
They can fix it now.
Carl Edwards becomes the 8th different winner of the Sprint All-Star race in the last 8 years, and he wants to go celebrate with the fans.
In one of the most wildest celebrations that I think I've ever seen in a NASCAR race, Carl Edwards, with 15 laps to go, ran down race leader Kyle Busch to take the lead and eventually take the win in the All-Star race. Carl Edwards never does burnouts or never drives through the grass when he wins races because he doesn't want to tear up his engine. Well, when he won $1 million, he said heck with it and tried it out. And with Edwards' luck in real life and in racing, you could obviously see what would happen. He would drive over the grass. He would drive over the water drainage that was in the grass area and destroy the front of his race car, and effectively damaging that car where they could probably never race it again. So, lucky for Edwards, he won the $1 million, but they probably lost a lot more money after this accident after the race. The 2024 Talladega race saw two unbelievable, embarrassing, and heartbreaking moments. The first one was the entire Toyota team imploding in turn number 3, and almost all of them crash out when they were trying to do a better fuel mileage strategy than the entire pack.
And 49.7, so
that pack's in trouble.
That pack's in trouble. They're gonna have to make another plan or commit to running as long as they can. But these guys
are in trouble here, turn 3. It's Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones.
Oh my goodness.
That's exactly what happened. You couldn't do that. They were single file.
This is one of the most dumbest things I've ever seen. A lapped car wrecking the leader at Bristol. I feel like we've definitely seen this before, but this is some incompetence. BK Racing's own driver wrecked Clint Bowyer, who was leading the race at Bristol in 2013. And to make matters worse, Bobby Labonte in the 47 car came out of nowhere sliding into Clint Bowyer, damaging Bowyer's car and effectively ending his day after Bowyer was able to make a miraculous save without hitting anything. This is still one of the most wildest things that ever happened to Clint Bowyer at Bristol, but unfortunately, he was not able to continue his dominance on that very evening, as he would be taken out by a lapped car.
NASCAR to bring the 39 in and clean up, and there he is racing with Ty Gibbs up the track, and around he goes. Brett Moffitt, Sheldon Creed trying to avoid.
Joey, and you talked about that earlier, you know, if going out, and it's unfortunate other cars got caught up in that mess.
They come to slow down to stop for the red flag, and you can see the yellow car right there on the back of the screen. Austin pulls up to stop. Yellow car doesn't. That's Mike Wallace in the 26, and he clobbers Dillon.
He also hit that car that's right behind a 42 a little bit there with his.
What happened? A problem for Ty Gibbs. This is in the front.
Oh, wow.
Straightaway chicane, the Shelton chicane.
I heard the crowd in the background, and I wasn't sure what happened.
Oh, what? Oh, my gosh. He just gets tagged by Jesse Awuji.
What is he thinking?
How does that happen?
I agree. How does this happen? When you're a lapped car, you should definitely be aware of your surroundings, especially under caution. Jesse Awuji was trying to get his lap back as he was allowed to, but for some dumb reason, he just completely ignored that Ty Gibbs was right there in front of him and wrecked Ty Gibbs, who was the race leader, under caution. Jesse Awuji would then be black flagged for 2 laps and held on pit road to serve his penalty. This is still one of the dumbest things I've ever seen a race car driver do, and if there was ever a phrase I would call this, it would be, what an idiot. Arguably one of, if not the greatest driver in NASCAR history, couldn't even make a 16-car playoff field in 2019. It was an embarrassing moment for Jimmie Johnson and his fans as his playoff hopes dwindled away as he spun on the exit of turn number 2 at Indianapolis.
And they're lined up 2 and 3 wide behind. Further back, Jimmie Johnson. 3 wide to the inside. Johnson goes around hard into the wall. Kurt Busch is there. Paul Menard is involved. Others are trying to avoid Jimmie Johnson, whose playoff hopes have just ended.
They're 3 wide right there. And I don't know, Jimmie just doesn't think he had enough room down here. His teammate very tight on his door. That was the Byron car, but I don't know if Jimmie knew they were 3 wide. And we've seen it already at one time over there today with Eric Jones. The car's losing a ton of side force. Hard contact with the 8 car there. We saw Parker Klingerman, who had worked his way up in the top 15 before this caution, before this restart, getting caught up in this as well.
He's clearly a lot faster, but unless something happens, there's just no way you can get there, I don't think, although Harrison is running him down the back straightaway.
Will it work for him?
Slow car on the bottom, just nowhere for Harrison to go right here.
He's stuck behind the 9. He's going to have one chance as they come out of turn 4. Harrison Burton turns left. He goes by Noah. Harrison Burton's going to win at Texas.
Trying to win his way to the championship 4, Noah Gragson had one of the best cars at Texas that day. In the closing laps, Noah Gragson was falling short to Harrison Burton. With 2 laps to go, Harrison Burton was obviously way faster than him, but at a track like Texas, it would be hard to be able to pass him. But ultimately, Harrison Burton would pass Noah Gragson in the final corner of the final lap, knocking Noah Gragson 24 points out of the championship 4, and having him be in a must-win situation heading into Martinsville 1 week later.
Just frustrated at myself. I don't know. I was pretty tight there at the end. I seen Alfredo holding Harrison off and thought we were getting away, and then I seen the 20 get by the 21, and he ran me down in like two laps, and I knew he was coming. I just didn't expect him to get there. I don't know. Frustrated, but I'm thankful for my guys, Dave.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I thought Noah had it won right here. I knew the 20 was coming, but as long as the 9 stays in the groove, I didn't think the 20 could turn below him. Obviously, the 9 got too tight. Noah said he did, and you know, as excited as I am for Harrison, for you, Jeff, for Kim, you have to be gutted for Noah. You can hear the raw emotion, and that's what sports and playoffs are all about.
On the inside, Larson on the outside. Back up through the gears they go. A little shove from Martin Truex Jr. And too hard through 1. Keselowski, Larson, both into the wall. They pile up in the Tums heartburn turn. Caution coming out again.
Had no grip or drove it.
Nobody really spinning their wheels much. Brad's in trouble right there. He knows he's in trouble. Got the left front locked up, and now just nowhere for these guys to go. I think even the 18, he was in too deep.
If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, if you've liked this video, I'm pretty sure these videos will catch your eye also.